on a 15-4 run to start that second half and looked sharp. What did you whisper to the team in the second half? I'm sure you had something to say to Jazz players.
Yeah, our locker room wasn't real good at halftime, and people wouldn't believe this because they see how I am during games, but our locker rooms are usually pretty quiet. It's not a lot. I'm more a reactionary guy to what happens than I am. Locker room time is a time to get better and make adjustments and fix your mistakes. This locker room time was pretty upset because we did not play with energy in the first half. I thought we were dead for some reason, and we had a game plan, and part of the game plan was to guard Dykstra, and he comes out and he makes 3 threes in the first minute and a half or whatever of the game, uncontested threes, and that was very upsetting to me. But we came out the second half with great emotion and great desire, and we got the crowd into the game, and we're pretty good when we're playing fast, and we're playing in this gym with the crowd we have, and the excitement that goes with it, and we got that going, and then we went through that lull in the second half. I think we were at 57-52, and we went a bunch of minutes with only 1 point, and we were able to overcome that. So I'm very pleased with the win. We beat a really good team tonight, a really, really, really good team.
Coach, at their place, they only played 6 players, 8 tonight. Do you talk about just stretching them thin? Looks like you guys, with your bench scoring, were able to just wear them down from a depth standpoint.
I guess you could look at it that way. What we did is, they missed shots in the second half, and we didn't. And we said all along about this team, Paul. We talked at the beginning of the year. I told you I thought if this team played a game of horse, no one would ever win. That's how good of a shooting team we were going to be. And we've shot like just terrible all year. I mean, we were 8-4 with wins, some tremendous wins, Tennessee and all that you know of, and we never shot well. And I knew eventually this team would. And the pressure, once we were out of the league, regular season league race, the kind of pressure went off us, and you could see us starting to make shots. And now we've gone the last 5 games. We're 14 for 28, 15 for 29, 14 for 29, 6 for 18, and 13 for 24, something like that, from the 3. And when we shoot like that, and we're 5-1 during that time, I think, or 4-1. When we shoot like that, we're going to beat a lot of people. And there's no reason we can't continue to shoot like that. Bader's not going to do that every night, but Reggie's going to have nights like that.
Thanks.
Coach Neil Rule with Oakland Radio. With I think it was about a minute or so to go, you pulled Reggie aside and you had a moment with him there on a night where he didn't have his best game. Talk a little bit about that, with what you guys were talking about.
Well, most people think all I do is scream and yell, but what I said to him was, Reggie, I was so proud of you because we won this game because of the 3 he made, I think. That was the key basket of the game. They'd stretched the lead out to 4 late, and he hadn't made a shot all night. And you could see he was frustrated, but he didn't take that out and take bad shots and force things. He ended up with 8 assists and 1 turnover, and they called traveling on a play I'm not sure he traveled on. It was his only turnover. And so I told him that we won the game because he played it as a team player tonight when it wasn't going for him. And it's a hard thing for a kid with 7 pro scouts here with a matchup against another great player to have a night where the ball rattles in and comes out or doesn't go or not get the calls or whatever. The normal person that isn't a fierce leader would probably have dragged our team down, and he didn't. He lifted our team up, and that's all I just wanted to tell him that. Plus, I didn't want him in the game because he's no good in the zone.
A 22-to-7 assist-to-turnover ratio for you guys. Can you talk about how well you've shared the basketball, especially compared to a guy like Wolters who dropped 12 assists tonight?
Well, I think that because the ball wasn't going in for Reggie, we had to find other options. The other guys aren't going to score off the bounce like Reggie does. We don't get a lot of assists sometimes because we score off the dribble. Our offense is a dribble-drive offense. So assists are never a big issue for me. The games that we have large assists are usually against zones or nights when Reggie doesn't score. And to answer the question about Bader also on the 10, I knew the record. And late in the game, I knew he had 9, and I was thinking, now, is it selfish of me to run some sets to him to break that record? No, because if he makes a 3, it's going to help us win. So we kept running stuff to him, but I did know that he needed 1 more to break it.
You're 4-1 in the last 5. Talk about how these games not only help you in the record, but help gain momentum coming in towards the tail end of the season.
Well, we pride ourselves at Oakland University of getting better. Now, we've had some great teams, but the last month of the season, which is February 5th to March 5th, if you go look in the record books from February 5th to March 5th, the last time we lost a game was in 2008. So we really pride ourselves on peaking and getting better, and the records show that. This team is poised to try and do the exact same thing and make a run and go into that tournament playing as well as they possibly can play. We've got a chance. We still have a chance, even though we've bumbled and stumbled. It's a young team, and it's a team that's learning. But we've still got a chance to get 20 wins, which is something to play for. To have 4 straight 21 seasons is quite an accomplishment for a mid-major. So we've got that to play for. We've got Peking to play for. There's a lot for us to play for. So we're going to go to work every day and get better, and we're going to try and keep that string. That's a heck of a string to talk about. You know, if you think about that, how many people can say that? From February 5th to March 5th, we haven't lost a game since 2008.
Bader and Valentine, your 2 highest scorers tonight. Those guys personally are very close. Did you see them feeding off each other tonight?
You know, I didn't even know Valentine. I thought Reggie was sitting up here next to me. I didn't even know it was Valentine until I heard his voice. I looked over and then I looked at his stat sheet. Didn't even know he had that. That's the type of player he is. Drew's stats mean nothing to me. I've said this from the day the season started. He's my MVP. He's the guy that makes us go. He's the straw that stirs the drink, the glue that, whatever the simile, metaphor, whatever the right word is for that is, it's Drew Valentine. And we expect that from him. Never surprises me. Plus, he held Dexter until Dexter made that 3 with 10 seconds to go or whatever it was. He held him to 2 points in the second half. That's what we wanted out of him.
We've got time for 2 more questions. We'll go with you in the final question.
Coach Garrett Elliott, journalism class. They were 9 of 16 shooting in the first half from 3 points, 5 of 17 in the second half. Did you guys change anything going into the second half? 3-point defense wise?
You know, I just said a couple prayers walking out to the court. They're a great shooting team. And you know, if you just keep staying in the gaps and you keep pressure and you contest shots, you know, eventually you hope, you know, good things are going to happen. I thought we did that well, and I thought the pace of the game, I thought they got tired. Somebody said that earlier, and I think that did happen. I thought both teams got tired in the pace of the game, but that's to our benefit. That's how we try and play.
Coach Neil Rule with Oakland Radio. Talk about Ryan Bass's effort against Nate Wolters, because Nate Wolters' stat line is going to be a little gaudy, but you never got a sense in the second half that he was taking over the basketball game.
And that's what we talked about. What was going to happen is, you know, Wolters usually takes over close games, and we rotated LaValle and Bass on him, trying to keep a fresh guy. You know, I don't know if you noticed, but Bass would go 4 or 5 minutes, come out. LaValle would go 4 or 5 minutes, come out. They just kept rotating on him, and all we were trying to do is keep him in front of us, make him make jump shots. And for the most part, we did a good job. Kid is a wonderful player. He's a pro. He's going to make a lot of money playing basketball. And, you know, I thought we did a nice job. Yeah, he had gaudy numbers. You're right. But I thought we did a good job on him. He's just a great player.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Coach.
That